Yo, what's up guys, it's NLW here, back again with another video. Today, giving you my thoughts on last night's WWE Fastlane 2021 pay-per-view. Was it good? Was it bad? I'm sick of hearing the word peacock said throughout the night, but regardless of that, it was a solid show, but I'm going to go through it match by match and tell you what I thought. But before I do, make sure you like the video as it helps get the channel out there. Also, comment down below, what did you think of Fastlane? And subscribe as we're getting closer to 1,000 subscribers, and your support in getting there would be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's get into the review. And one thing I'll say off the bat, I'm very grateful that this show started at 11 PM in the UK, which meant I was actually able to stay up and watch it for once rather than feel sleep deprived the day after. But we started off on the kickoff with Riddle and Ali for the United States Championship. Fun little match here. Ali is vicious. He's yelling at Retribution at ringside, saying, "I've got this. This is how you do it." And eventually, he loses, of course, because Retribution always lose, with a Bro Derek off the top rope. A fun little match. Riddle's still champion, but the main story is what happened after the match. It looks like Retribution have finally broken up. They turn on him. I think Slapjack leaves, so does Reckoning, and whoever the two are in the ring, T-Bar and Mace, they deliver a double chokeslam to Ali. So Retribution is over, thankfully. I mean, that's what I hope. I hope they don't continue the group without Ali. I would hope that you got Dijak. He's a great guy. Miriam as well. I feel like she could be doing a lot more on the main roster as a single star. So the possibilities are much wider now that Retribution is, hopefully, fingers crossed, staying broken up. But fun little opener. And then we come on to the actual main card. The opening match is for the women's tag team titles. You got Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks teaming up against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. This one was better than their Elimination Chamber match, but I'll be honest, not by a lot. It was fun at parts, but most of the time it was just Nia and Shayna beating down on Belair until Sasha made the hot tag. Had a couple of fun spots, but she did botch a DDT off the shoulders of Nia Jax. It ends when Reginald tries to get involved. I think that Sasha has the bank statement on Shayna Baszler. Nia pushes Bianca into her, and they're bickering, of course they are, and to be honest, they look like idiots in this one, and that cost them the match when Sasha is rolled up, or Bianca's rolled up. I can't quite remember which one, but yeah, not a fun match. I didn't really dig it. It was better than the Elimination Chamber one, but hopefully this feud picks up a little bit, because man, I was so looking forward to it. Royal Rumble time, and now I see them bickering between each other, and it's a bit cringe is what it is, but I hope they can turn it around. 3 weeks till Mania. Hopefully Sasha and Bianca is good, but this match didn't really do it for me. And next up, Intercontinental title on the line as Apollo Crews challenges Big E. I love Crews' new gimmick, the Nigerian ancestry and the guards and the spear. He's got this new accent as well. Reminds me a little bit of Kofi Kingston's put-on accent, but regardless of that, it's fun for the start of it because you've got Big E being really intense, just battering Crews, and then Crews can't really get a lick in. He drop kicks him into the turnbuckle, and that's when Crews really turns on the offense. And it's a short match because it ends with, I think it's like a botch, or maybe it's a botch. They didn't show any replays, so I assume that this wasn't the plan. But after the match, Crews, after he's lost, just hits a couple of angle slams and walks out. And yeah, this match could have been so much more. Like, I hope that it actually has a proper build to it at WrestleMania, but this one didn't really do it for me either. It was fun while it lasted for the 5 minutes, but that botched ending really ruined it for me. Hopefully they have a better match at WrestleMania. And next up, we were supposed to have Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon, but it looks like they're saving it for WrestleMania, I guess, because he's injured, is Shane McMahon. He was injured during training, and instead he's subbing for Elias. So Elias is now the one who faces Braun Strowman, and it's a squash match. Braun beats Elias handily. It did what it needed to do, get Braun over as a monster, but this could have been on Raw. Like, it didn't really need to be on this Fastlane event, so it was what it was. At least it was short. Now we got one of the matches that I was most looking forward to on this show, as Shinsuke Nakamura faces Seth Rollins. Rollins injured Cesaro, and Nakamura is being the savior for him, so Rollins seems to be beating down on him forever. It feels like it's lasting quite a while, but after 5 minutes, Nakamura gets back into the contest, delivers a vicious knee on the apron, and Seth hooks a foot on Shinsuke's knee and then drops him with a kick to the back of the skull, reminiscent of Nakamura. That was a pretty fun move. And then there's a curb stomp, and it just kind of ends. And it was a little bit anticlimactic, the finish, but it was a fun match while it lasted. I think it only went about 10 minutes. Certainly one of Nakamura's better matches as of late, so you've got that going for it. Apart from the anticlimactic finish, I feel like they could have gone a little bit longer, but aside from that, a decent match. Apart from the points where Seth Rollins was just shouting about being swung by Cesaro, that kind of took me out of it. Then we have a no-holds-barred match as Sheamus takes on Drew McIntyre. McIntyre, he's got the face paint, the war paint. I love it. I want to see it in a figure form. And then they're just battering each other to start with. Kendo stick shots, and the white of Sheamus's back really shows the welts forming on his spine, and they're just battering each other with all these maneuvers. You've got steel stair shots, kendo sticks, They're two beefy men doing beefy things. They go into the Thunderdome crowd, and Drew McIntyre throws Sheamus through the Thunderdome screen, the LED. It leaves sparks and explosions. That was a cool visual. And then when they go back to ringside, Sheamus delivers a white noise through the announce table. You can tell the intensity between these two, and I must say, I did enjoy the promo package before this match as well. It really sold me on the action. There's a DDT from McIntyre on the table debris in the ring, then a Claymore, and Drew McIntyre gets the win. I would say this is probably my favourite match of the night, aside from the main event, which we'll get to, but a very solid big boy battle between two Goliaths. They really feel like two warriors going in there for battle. I enjoyed that physicality. I wish it was like a number one contenders match, so it had a little bit higher stakes, but aside from that, looking forward to McIntyre versus Lashley at WrestleMania. Next up, the weirdest match on the card as Randy Orton goes one-on-one with Alexa Bliss. The promo package told the story. Fiend was burned alive. Alexa Bliss comes back, taunts Randy Orton. Randy Orton's throwing up this black liquid. It's a tale as old as time. And as Orton makes his way to the ring, he's doing his pose, and then suddenly the black liquid comes out of him again. He's getting a towel and he's wiping it, and he's all sort of phased at the moment. You don't usually see Randy Orton so off his game like this. So Alexa Bliss, she comes down to ringside, and most of this match, she's just taunting him. So it's more of an angle than a match, really. They're chasing her around ringside, and at one point, a wall of flames just comes right in front of Alexa Bliss. They go round to ringside, the lighting rig drops, Randy Orton's big spooked, and a fireball misses, but then, suddenly, as Alexa's taunting Randy, a hand comes up from under the ring mat, pulls Randy Orton, and then it is the Fiend, looking charred from being burned, hits the Sister Abigail, allows Alexa Bliss to pin and defeat Randy Orton. Of course, I can't really grade it as a match because it was more of an angle, but I don't know what to feel about this anymore. I feel like it's kind of jumped the shark in a way, this whole feud. Have a Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania, end it, move on. I think it's cool that The Fiend can reinvent himself like this in a different kind of scenario, so I'm of two minds about it. On one hand, I think it's very silly and very stupid, but on the other hand, because I don't care about the product that much, it's interesting and entertaining, even as wacky as it is. Credit to them, it's different, but different doesn't always mean good. I like the new twist of this new charred side of, a more vicious side of The Fiend, I should say. You can't really keep him down. I don't know how far they can push it before it becomes old. Arguably, it's old now, so I don't know. We'll see what they do at WrestleMania. I'm not going to crap all over it just yet. Next up, it's the main event for the Universal Championship as Roman Reigns defends against Daniel Bryan with Edge as the special enforcer at ringside. Of course, Edge beating Jey Uso on SmackDown to get in this position. In the early stages of the match, Daniel Bryan's just toying with Roman Reigns, really trying to get under his skin. Then you've got the methodical pace of Roman picking it up as he's delivering a beatdown onto Daniel Bryan. It really reminded me of those Jey Uso matches that Roman had. Very good stuff. Bryan, he gets back into it with a dive. He tries to catch him, does Roman, but he kind of botches it and lands on the floor instead. Bryan's like a house of fire, comes back with running kicks and a couple of cool submission reversals from Daniel Bryan. He's got the yes lock locked in, but it's powered out by Roman Reigns. There's a ref bump, which allows Edge to come in and count the two on a spear from Roman Reigns, but Bryan does kick out. Then you got Jey Uso to come in, and it's a big schmoz at this point. Jey comes in to attack. Bryan attacks him with a steel chair, accidentally hits Edge when he's going for Roman. Roman goes for a spear, but it's hooked in for a yes lock. No ref there. Roman Reigns actually taps out, and then Edge hits a chair onto both of them. Is this a heel turn? Is this a tween turn? I don't quite know what it is. It's probably just shades of grey. Surely it has to be setting up a triple threat now. So then Reigns covers Daniel Bryan, and it's over. Solid match, probably my second favourite match of the night, aside from the No Holds Barred match. Again, I don't know quite what to make of this finish. It's okay. It progresses the story. And obviously Fastlane to fill a pay-per-view, so it is what it is. So I am hoping that they do a triple threat at WrestleMania. I don't know how good a match singles between Edge and Reigns would be. I think if you've got Bryan in there, you've got kind of a faster pace with him and that underdog story, similar to the WrestleMania 20 match with Triple H, Shawn Michaels and Chris Benoit. You can kind of have that in a modern twist right now. Aside from the finish, which is a bit schmozzy and a bit confusing, I thought it was a good match. So overall, I'd have to say Fastlane, not a great show, but I wasn't really expecting much going in, so it's not that much of a disappointment. I feel like the opener wasn't very good. The botch finish in the IC title match was a bit naff too, as well as the squash by Braun Strowman. This is all stuff that we could see on Raw or SmackDown. It has no place on a pay-per-view. And likewise, kind of, with Rollins versus Nakamura, it did feel like a TV match, although it was a very good match, I'll give them that. The No Holds Barred match, very physical, I loved it so much. The Fiend stuff, I'm of two minds about it. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I'm leaning towards not being interested in it, but I don't hate it per se. And the main event between Reigns and Bryan was pretty good. The involvement with Edge was quite interesting. Want to see if he goes full heel or just slightly heel heading in to WrestleMania and perhaps a triple threat match at the big show. So overall, it just feels like they're treading water until we get to WrestleMania, which I kind of understand, but they really didn't need to have this show. You could have had any of this to make Raw or SmackDown more interesting, in my opinion. But it was a fine show. It lasted under 3 hours, so that was fine with me. But what did you think of Fastlane? Let me know in the comments below. Also, like the video and subscribe as we're getting closer to 1,000 subscribers, and your support in getting there would be greatly appreciated. That's it from me, and I will catch you guys later.